Hey all there, yous, yuns, and y'all. Welcome back to Let Him Cook. Today we are cooking with an extra spicy one. Well, not really spicy, I guess it's just mild. This Goth Morgul Lieutenant is a 4-drop 3/3 black human soldier creature that has amass 1 orcs when it enters, and it gives all creature tokens you control Death Touch. Now, before we dive into the commander, I'd like to quick remind everybody to like, comment, and subscribe. It's not a huge deal for you, but it really helps me out. The lowdown on this deck is that it's very focused on its commander's ability to give Death Touch to tokens. Now, making a token when it enters is great and all, but that by no means should be our main source of token production, as this deck has tons of it and great ways of using those tokens. Keeping that in mind, we have to be aware that our commander is a bit of an outlet and also a value engine, so we have to use it a little bit safely. However, we don't have a lot of protection in the deck. So keeping that in mind, we do really have to focus on using our commander properly versus when our commander is just going to end up getting shot because we're threatening something without really having taken stock of the board. Making best use of our commander and really our game plan in general is going to look like 3 vague but separate steps each game, as our commander is sort of vague and really kind of simple. So our first thing we're going to be doing is creating tokens using our fairly large variety of token generators. We're going to be keeping those tokens extra small. Next, we're going to be leveraging our commander to create powerful board presence. And what we mean is we're able to use cards that are able to boost our ability to balance out our opponent's board states versus ours because of a mixture of our Death Touch and the effects and cards that we're going to be using. Lastly, we're going to be using combat damage and other ways of lowering our opponent's life total to end the game. Again, this is a very simple deck as we are on a budget, so keeping that in mind, we are going to be really focusing on pushing through damage with combat. The triumphant return of MVPs comes with our big 3 that we really care about in this deck. Number 1, we have by far our best finisher and our real actual MVP of the deck is Dragon Throne of Tarkir. Dragon Throne of Tarkir is a 4-drop artifact equipment that has equip cost 3 and gives the creature Defender, and the equipped creature gains the ability to pay 2 mana and tap it to give all creatures +X/+X and trample, where X is the creature's power until the end of turn. Briefly as an aside, Death Touch and Trample together, just in Magic, as it says, all damage that would be dealt that is excess of lethal is dealt directly to the player who's being trampled across. With our commander giving all of our tokens Death Touch, and then this card giving all of our creatures Trample, we will in fact be assigning a single point of damage per creature, and that's lethal. So anything beyond 1, regardless of indestructibility, regardless of anything else, is assigning lethal damage. So keeping that in mind, that is why this is number 1. It is a finisher, and it is also a way for us to push through damage and increase the damage we're really dealing too. Next up of the big 3, we have Mimic Vat. It's our number 2. In my opinion, it is tied, but barely beaten out by Dragon Throne of Tarkir. The reason why is Mimic Vat is another artifact. It's a 3-drop. It says whenever a creature dies, you may exile that creature under Mimic Vat until another creature is put under Mimic Vat, in which case it spits the other one out into the graveyard. And Mimic Vat has, you can pay 3 mana to create a token copy of a creature exiled with Mimic Vat until the end of the turn. Mimic Vat itself has incredible value for our deck, as we are a deck that looks to use Death Touch to our advantage. Death Touch kills our opponent's creatures. Mimic Vat says any creature, including our own, can be made into a token, and really what this allows us to do is play a lot more loosely while benefiting the rest of our strategy. Having all of this excess value allows us to play a lot more safely and a little more sloppily with the same level of benefit. Lastly, on our romp through our glorious MVPs, we have Viridian Longbow. Viridian Longbow is another equipment artifact for 1 that costs 3 to equip and gives the equipped creature the ability to tap itself and deal 1 damage to any target. This is a removal tool that we can start moving around. So for 3 mana, we can destroy any creature for the amount of tokens we have with our commander in play in conjunction. It's very simple, super effective, and honestly, it just makes for great ways to deal with problems that as the Death Touch deck we're not normally able to deal with because they're cards and creatures that people won't want to block with. Moving into wrap up here, and again, this is a short video, just a reminder, this deck did have a $75 budget that I did put out for it because our commander is a little weird, and it's one I consider to be unpopular or relatively unknown. Just wanted to give it the spotlight I thought it deserved because I believe it's fairly interesting in terms of what you can do within the space it provides. However, it itself is kind of boring. This is a deck that is simple, and its simplicity is not just its weakness, but it's also its strength in that it does the thing. We've built it to do it well, but when the thing doesn't work, it doesn't work. And really, that's all this deck tries to do. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I plan on recording games once or twice a month in the future, depending how our Friday goes. I recorded this prior to the actual game happening. I hope to see everybody there on the Discord tomorrow for me, June the 30th, pardon the error last time, for games. Pragmatic out.